Oh, yeah. What is up? What is up? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake show. I am your host, Alfred, and I cannot wait to talk with everybody today. So, sorry I'm a little late. Had to eat some dinner. We did the Lethal Collective stream, and I did not have time to eat. We ran a little long over on the LC. So, what is up, Diamond Rattler? I like that. What's up? What's up? Boom! Let's go. Let's do it. Getting it done. Aaron is here. What is up, Aaron? Kiefer's here. What's up? The Lethal Collective stream just ended, and yeah, he will be here soon. Here I am. Little late, but we're vibing. What's up, Maverick? What's up? What's up? Easton's here, accusing me of being a hashtag late Jake, which is unfortunately a little true today, but it's okay. We're getting going. We're gonna have a crazy night. It's gonna be fun. What's up, Roman? What's up? What's up? CJ Taft is here. We got the Boogeyman Films here as well. Welcome all. Carter Scotland Allen is here talking about my review of Thor: Love and Thunder, which was very truthful. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Man, Thor 4 was a little rough, in my opinion. Gonna be honest. A little rough. Could have been crazier. Oh my God, Conrad gave a $5 super sticker. Holy crap! Thank you so much, Conrad. I appreciate that. Thank you. Doing a little spur last minute live stream. Decided why not. Thought that might be fun. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Halloween today because there's a lot going on with Mr. Michael Myers. So I'm very excited to talk about all that. Just want to say hi to some more people, of course. Though we got Coop de Oof, Rutro. What's up? And Conrad, I know I already said hey to you, but you get 2 hays today because you're killing it with the super sticker, man. Thank you, Conrad. I appreciate that. I love me some stickers. NC Myers official. Hello. Daniel Lopez is here. What's up? How's it hanging? And we got John Underwood, and I don't know if I said hi to Bill. What's up, Bill? And I don't know if I said hi to Ronnie yet. Hello. Welcome. We are absolutely vibing today. Talking Halloween if you're just coming in. Very excited to talk a little bit about this because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So, with The Mask too, which is the first thing I want to talk about. Haven't been able to really talk about it at all because this whole weekend I was filming. We were kind of super busy. Whole lot going on this weekend. If you don't already know, I'm filming a Scream movie. I'm doing a Scream fan film that comes out this December. I'm very excited for it. Very excited for y'all to see it. I'm super excited to get into that too. I'll probably have a trailer here sometime soon. We are so much closer to being done with that than I ever would have thought. So coming soon. You guys will see some footage from that ASAP. But with all the news that happened this weekend, the big thing, and we have someone already talking about it, Rob Zombie's Style and Ends, apparently that's debunked, yes. So I don't think that it's going to actually be the mask falling off of his face. We had viewer Anon kind of come out and say like, oh, maybe that happens, maybe we actually get like a hobo Michael Myers or something along those lines. But now he's also come out and kind of retracted the statement saying he got some like kind of bad information, which is cool. And I don't know. I'm really excited to see what actually happens and ends because it's going to be a different movie, according to director David Gordon Green. We've had a lot of people come out and say some weird things about the film that's been really worrisome to me. And we got Mohammed here with a 25-something super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. How you doing, Jake? You're one of the coolest YouTubers out there to me. Hope all is well, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support, man. I greatly appreciate it. I'm doing okay. I'm vibing. I'm having a fun time. We're talking a little bit about horror movies, and I'm making a little crazy movie. So I hope you're doing good, Mohammed. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. And we got Screaming for Conrad with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Conrad. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. You guys are the absolute best. Trailer is likely coming Thursday, you're saying? We got a lot of people saying when the trailer's likely to come. But another thing with it as well, we'll get into that in a second with the mask and stuff, because I want to talk a little more about the mask and stuff first, but I do want to answer some of y'all's questions. Looking forward to Red Right Hand. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Will Red Right Hand have a physical media release, and will that have bonus features? So, Ethan, with the campaign, the Kickstarter campaign we did back in March, there was a tier that you could support us at where we will have VHS tapes of the film. It works a lot with some of the themes in the movie and stuff, and I think you guys are going to really like it. It's going to be cool. So if you supported us at that tier, that will come obviously after the movie's release. We can't really release any of the Kickstarter rewards until after the movie comes out. Some of them include spoilers, like the scripts, for instance. I can't show you the script before you see the movie. That's kind of crazy. So, but yes, there will be a VHS thing. We might actually do more VHS tapes like afterwards. Maybe we'll do like another Kickstarter campaign if people really want some more of those. So we will I'll get into that sometime probably early next year. So Conrad with another super chat. Thank you so much, Conrad. I appreciate it, man. How would you had done the remake of Halloween? And this is something, yes, we got it. I think this is a really good jumping point here because I want to talk about why I feel like going back to a look from Halloween 2 just wouldn't work and why it just completely ruins the mystique of Michael Myers. Like, if you have Michael Myers without his mask on for a good majority of this film, or it's like it's torn up, it's torn to pieces, and I got to block this user who is throwing some gross things in the chat. If you have a movie where it kind of ruins the mystique of Michael Myers, I just feel like that goes against everything. Like, have his mask be all ripped up to shreds. That goes against what Michael Myers is at the end of the day. Something that is kind of not human, more animalistic, and just has no emotions about what he's doing. He's just going around, he's killing people, he's the shape of evil and all that. I want something that's a little more along those lines. I think what I would have done in going back to Rob Zombie's movies, what I feel like he missed out on is the fact that you have the character of Michael Myers, you're focusing on him for the first 50 minutes of the movie. I mean, Laurie Strode isn't even introduced until like more than halfway through the film. So I think with Rob Zombie's interpretation, he tried to humanize Michael, make him, it's more of like a realistic, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like real crime, murder kind of story. That's just not what Halloween is at the end of the day. It's a little supernatural. It's questionable about how he's able to survive everything that he's gone through. And I love the idea of a Halloween film that keeps the mystique right, but maybe does things a little differently tone-wise. So you can fuck with the tone a little bit. We've seen it done in the Halloween franchise successfully, in my opinion, with films like H2O. But then you also have films like the 4, 5, and 6, where it just tries to explain Michael. You don't need to explain Michael. David Gordon Green, for the most part, has gotten that right, but I just hope that Halloween Ends isn't too far off the deep end with that. To answer your question, Conrad. Sorry, that got a little long-winded, but I feel very passionate about all this, so... Jacob Browning with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Jacob Browning. And also thank you for being a channel member. We appreciate that here. Love Halloween. Just got H2O and Resurrection. Nice. Nice. I hear that they're doing a 4K release for Curse, H2O, and Resurrection. So I wonder what's up with that. I hope that happens. I would love to get my hands on one of those eventually when they're on sale and not $35 a piece. So that nice though. Good choices. Some good movies there. I don't love Resurrection. I will say that, but H2O, man, that's a banger. That's a banger in my opinion. So good stuff, Jacob. Good stuff. Who taught Michael how to drive? Great question. Someone did, apparently. Someone must have been giving him lessons. It's always funny. I changed my profile picture. Do you like it? I dig it. I like the forest in the background and all that. It's pretty badass. I like it, John. Some good stuff. Lucas Ritter with the $5 super chat. Holy crap. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, getting into this a little. Oh, actually, this is a good question though. Real quick from Carter, Scott, and Allen. Favorite kill of the David Gordon Green films, and this is a tough one to answer because they across the board. I think there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good kills in those movies. I do really like them. I'm getting worried about ends though, which we'll talk about in a second. But my favorite kill, man, that's really tough because I love Sartain's death in 2018. I love when he stomps on his head. He's like, say something, and he just stomps on him, which I feel like is really reminiscent of the whole point of these new David Gordon Green flicks is that everyone wants him to say something. Everyone wants to know what is going on in Michael's head, but it's just not going to happen. And Michael's not going to let that happen. So I really love that. That's probably like number one for me. But I do really like the light bulb smash. And then he like sticks it through that lady's neck in Halloween Kills. That one's really good. I really enjoyed that. The whole opening to Halloween Kills I think is phenomenal and was super impressive. Really, really tough to market. I don't know. I really enjoy that kill, I guess. Cameron's death is a good one. A lot of people, I remember I did a poll a while back about Halloween kills deaths, and I'm like, what's your favorite one? And I did not include Cameron's death, and everyone's like, none of these, Cameron's death. And I'm just like, oh, wow, okay, a lot of people really liked that. My thing that I feel is weird about it is, yes, it's a very visceral death. It's very, like, upsetting. But then they tried to do, like, this whole, like, comeback arc for Cameron, so it doesn't hit as hard for me personally. Or I guess maybe it does for that reason, you know? I don't know. I've never really watched it from that perspective, thinking about that. But definitely something to think about. Yeah, a lot of people giving some love for Cameron's death for the entire new franchise. Wow, nice. Good stuff. The old couple is sad. It's sad, but it's like a crazy awesome kill, man. Her death was slow and painful. Seeing her husband gets like this is so fucked up, but like that's awesome to me. Like I know that's so messed up, but I love it. And yeah, with Halloween Ends though, to be something different from Halloween Kills. I do want it to be a little more simple, a little more back to basics, which I don't feel this way about every franchise, but with Halloween, I feel like the last, like, if you go back to H2O, Resurrection, and even before that, like, the majority of this franchise has been pretty experimental. And some of it has hit, some of it has been awesome. You know, I'm gonna say, like, majority of the Halloween movies I really enjoy, which is maybe not maybe kind of a mildly hot take. A lukewarm take, if you will. But I do really, I really enjoy this franchise. I really like it, but I think it's time to get something that's a little more back to basics, something that feels a little more like the original, which Ends would be such a good time to do that because you could have Laurie Strode getting over a lot of the stuff that she's gone through throughout the past couple of films, or like the past like 3 films in this timeline, that is. And you could have her like she's back to normal. She's like going through a lot of recovery, and she's just like she's resurrected. It's not exactly the best word to use when it comes to this franchise, but she's back. She's getting things back on track with her life and all that. She has a good relationship with Allison. Maybe her and Hawkins are together, something along those lines. And then suddenly, it's like she starts seeing visions of Michael Myers again. And it's like she doesn't know if that's like in her head or if that's or what the deal is with that, and she's trying not to talk about it. You could do a really good setup that way by having Michael Myers stalking around again, which is something we unfortunately just haven't gotten a whole lot of in the past 2 films. Halloween Kills was like a Halloween fan's dream to see just Michael Myers killing people over and over. Like it was just crazy kill after crazy kill. And it was a lot of fun. But with Halloween Ends, I think we got to go back to the slow burn style of that original Halloween, which would be really cool. And you could do a lot of parallels with that. You could have Michael like looking around the bush, just like in the original flick. And then it's like Laurie sees that and she's like, I don't know if that's real or not. I got to turn around, and she goes back to look. He's gone. Hawkins goes and runs after it and kind of looks around and is like, oh, there's nothing here, you know? So it could be like, you could use those like those scenes from that original movie and like repurpose them for a whole new direction considering where the story has gone. I think that might be fun, but I'm also very, very excited to see what they've done with Ends, because it's apparently very experimental, very weird and different. And I just hope it's a fitting conclusion to this timeline. That's the big thing that I want from it. And if it does that, I'm happy. I'm happy. If it ends this timeline in a way that we have never seen done before, something different, I'm down for it. Let's see it happen. But what do you guys think? Let's see what let's see what's all in the comments here. Even if Michael did discriminate, he's a bad guy at the end of the day. Yeah, I mean he is. I don't know if necessarily like he even knows what he's doing, and I think that's the most interesting thing about Michael is like I don't know if he has any emotions or if he like feels he's kind of sociopathic, even though yes, he is creative and we've seen him give mercy to certain people before in the past, which has always been interesting to me. Like the baby in 2018, why doesn't he kill babies, but he kills dogs and everybody else? You know, it's like there's got to be something to that. But I like that we never get the full painted picture. We only get like a little brush stroke of it, which is cool. The part where Michael kicks the door to the nurse lady was funny as fuck, even though it's not supposed to. I don't know. I don't know if it's not supposed to be funny. That's a really good point though. I laughed the first time I saw that when he kicks the gun and she accidentally. Yeah, I think it's funny. I think it's meant to be funny. And I don't know. I think a lot of these movies have some silly moments too. Like it's definitely not supposed to be a straightforward like dour Michael Myers flick. You know what I mean? I don't think that. I think it's much more of a it's supposed to be a little goofy at times. Like you have these little down moments in David Gordon Green's flicks, which is nice, where it's like you get these character moments and they're funny, they're silly. We saw that in both Kills and 2018, especially like my favorite instance of that is Big John and Little John, who I absolutely loved as characters. I was so sad that they died, but they were great and they were fun. They were fun to watch. They had like fun little character moments, and then we unfortunately got to see them die. David Gordon Green is amazing at making you fall in love with these side characters like that so quickly, and then killing them, ripping them away from you, which he totally does on purpose. But I like it. I like how it goes. What else do we got? What else do we got here? Halloween Kills was pretty comedic. Yeah, it's supposed to be a little bit. It's supposed to be the back and forth of watching something so dark and so messed up. The counter of that, watching something so silly and so goofy, like going back and forth. It doesn't work all the time in Halloween Kills, especially, but yeah. Old School with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Old School. I like that. He does not kill little kids. Well, we did see him strangle that, who I'm assuming is like a 10 or 12-year-old boy in Halloween 2018. And there has been, like, we have seen moments of him spare kids where, like, especially in that flashback with Lonnie, where he doesn't kill him. So there's a lot of weird moments with Michael that we truly just don't quite understand everything about his psyche. I've always found that the most interesting thing about his character, and I hope they don't try to. I really hope they don't do that in ends where it's like we have to explain everything about him. We don't need. I'm telling you, we don't need that. It's something that it's an inevitable question about Michael Myers. It's inevitable to want to explain everything about him and to understand the guy. But it's so much more fun to just simmer and marinate in that mystery and just never really know what's going on. But thank you for the super chat again, Old School. I appreciate that. Thank you. He killed the kids in the skull masks and Kills. That too. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, another example. Yeah. But then he doesn't kill babies. So what's up with that? What do you, like, I like theorizing about Michael Myers and trying to explain in my head. But I would, like, if I was in charge of a Halloween movie, I would never implement that into a script. I think maybe I would write down something about, like, my idea of what Michael Myers would be. But I've always found it more interesting to not have that 100% painted for me, I guess. He was trying to kill his niece in Halloween 4 and 5, going after a baby in 6. Yeah, that too as well. Holy crap, your profile picture is something, Beelzebub. that's something. I didn't realize what it was until I clicked on the comment. I'm just like, whoa, holy crap. Getting some crazy stuff here. Do y'all think Halloween will continue after Ends? Yeah, I mean, probably, Aaron. I don't think the same studio is going to do it. Obviously, I don't think Blumhouse will be in charge of Halloween anymore, as they end it with Halloween Ends. That's why it's called Halloween Ends, after all, I think. But I hope another studio picks it up and once again does it differently. I really like what David Gordon Green brought to Halloween. He brought the brutality of the zombie films, but it was a little more focused, and it builds up to the kills a little better, in my opinion. It's not as much as, like, the original flick, for example, is like all build up and all exposition with the characters. It's still very fun to watch for those first 2 acts, and then you finally get into Michael Myers starting to kill people once night falls. And it's like, I don't know, I think it's really interesting to me. I've always thought that was such a cool aspect of the original flick, and I would love to get back to that. David Gordon Green does give you enough breathing room to build tension. It's a little quicker than the original Halloween, of course. But he does give you those little down moments, which is nice. If it didn't have that, I would be kind of scared. I'd be kind of scared for the franchise personally. But no, I think he does it really well. I think he kills it. Austin with the $5 super chat. Austin Darnell, thank you so much. We appreciate all the support here. I love your profile picture, by the way, too. I think they keep him from babies in the new movies so that fans of Michael can watch and enjoy, for the lack of a better term, seeing him again. I understand what you're... Yeah, I get where you're going with that. I mean, he does kill, like... I don't know, like, where's the morals? I guess if you're talking about from just a moral standpoint... How does it, like, okay for him to kill a kid opposed to a baby? I don't know. I mean, I get what I totally get what you're saying though. Like I think if he was to kill a baby, like, it would almost be like audiences would have a worse reaction to that opposed to him strangling a kid. But like I totally hear you. I hear you there. That's definitely how the studio sees it for sure, Austin. But it's always been interesting to me. It's always been interesting to me why the character doesn't do that. Because even if it is studio manipulation, whatever, you still got to write. You still have to. That's still a part of the character at the end of the day. Because we've seen it in this timeline. So I'm curious what goes through Michael's head when he sees a baby opposed to a kid. You know what I mean? So interesting stuff. Good take, Austin. I like that. I want Halloween Ends to explain Michael without taking the mystery away. There are ways to do that, like maybe explaining what he looks at, or if he understands himself. I feel you, Roman. I think that if they can talk a little bit about that, one thing I do like about the David Gordon Green films is how everyone's going back and forth and giving their different takes on Michael. That's always been something so interesting to me. Like, you have Hawkins now, especially in Kills, kind of giving his 2 cents on the whole Michael situation. He has totally different experience than everybody else with Michael Myers, because he was there when Michael got taken down again in this new timeline, as we saw in the Kills flashbacks. And it's interesting to me. I hope they play off of that a little more. If they kind of like, I hope they just don't give it to us all straight. Like, they don't give us like everything. They're just like, oh yeah, this is what Michael's doing. Here you go. I hope they give it to us in a way where it's like, how do I put this? Where it's like suggested. It's like, this is the theory that everyone's favoring. This is the theory about Michael Myers, where it's like, this could be the thing that's the most likely, but it's not necessarily 100% yes, this is the case. But I do think that one of the most important things about Halloween to me is the mystique of the character. So, I don't know. Purple and gold saying, you demand. Thank you. I appreciate that. Super hyped for Halloween and Nope. Oh, me too, man. I'm really excited for Nope. I'm excited for Halloween Ends. I still am. I'm mildly concerned. Just mildly concerned. But I'm very excited for it. But Nope, man. Oh, Nope is the one I'm probably the most excited about. Purple and gold, thank you so much. I see you're a Lakers fan there. Get some good stuff there. I have a love-hate relationship with the Lakers, but I don't think none of my horror people probably care about that. Maybe I do want to start a sports page at some point in the future. Sometime in the future I might do that. Just 11 days till Nope, saying Rodrigo. Heck yeah. Oh, we're almost there. Almost there. And I know some of y'all are talking about the Salem's Lot stuff, which I'll have to do some more research into. I'll have to do a whole video on that. I would love to talk about the Salem's Lot, the new Salem's Lot movie, which I kind of know what's going on, but I want to do some more research before I really give an opinion about it, because I'm not 100% sure on everything. So I don't want Michael's face to ever be fully shown. That's a no-no for sure. I agree. I totally agree. I think that with the mystique of his character, I love how they've always shown, like, when they do show James Jude Courtney's face, it's always like a little out of focus. The shot's a little off or something like that. It's all done on purpose. I love it. So if they do give us a face reveal, so to say, hopefully it's not just like the whole face, or it's not him just taking his mask off in front of Laurie for some reason. Because all these new movies is such a disconnect from stuff from the past, where it's been always about Michael coming after Laurie, or Laurie was his sister and all that in 2. Like, I like that this is a departure from that. The only times where Michael comes after Laurie is just because he's been put in her path. That is what's so fascinating about the whole thing to me. So I hope they keep that with this new movie by not having some kind of emotional reveal at the end, because you don't need that in this timeline. I just want to see Michael killing people again, but with also progressing the story as well. I feel like there's a child stuck in a I feel like there's a child stuck in a grown man's body with Michael. He kills, but he kills persistently, but also in a childish manner. That's a really good point. I love that. It's like he never grew up. He's been stuck ever since he killed Judith, like that first time, he's just been stuck mentally on how life is and how he perceives things. And it's like he can't move past that. I think that's definitely something I believe too. That's very interesting. I love that. Can't wait to watch Nope high as fuck. David, I can't say certain things on YouTube, but I'll give you a little wink. There you go. That's all you got. Denisha saying, hey, if you're not a channel member, go become a KillJoy Jake member. There you go. It's worth drinking the Kool-Aid. Yes, the Kool-Aid is very tasty here. You will enjoy it. I think. Drink the Kool-Aid. It's always fun. I think Michael and Laurie both die in Ends. This is something we got to talk about too, about how we all feel about who's living, who's dying in Halloween Ends. What's going on with that? You think they're both dying, Roman. I don't think it's going to be just one or the other. It's just the way Laurie wants to consistently go after him. I could be wrong, but who knows? Look, you got a point, Roman. I like the idea of Laurie kind of, she feels like is it Ahab in Moby Dick? It's like Ahab and the Great White Whale. I hope I'm getting that name right. But it's you're obsessed with this. You got to go after it. It's that same kind of relationship with Michael and Laurie, I think. And it would be really cool, I think, and I know a lot of people disagree with this, for Laurie to ultimately meet her demise because she's trying to take down Michael Myers. She can't stop being so obsessed with him. So that's always been something that's been really fascinating to me. Cat saying, holy shit, 85 people, but I'm so hyped for Nope to become the attraction at Universal. Me too. Literally me too. Also, by the way, if you're here, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. That is always mucho apreciato. That's not even a thing to say. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Monday night. But yes, I'm very hyped for Nope. Apparently it's going to be an attraction at Universal Hollywood now too, or something along those lines. Once again, something else I got to read up a little more on, but I'm very excited for that. What's up, Cody Ghostface? And just with any Ghostfaces who come into the chat, of course, we have a little special clip for you.
Holy shit, it's Ghostface!
Okay, that's enough of that. But yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for Nope too. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. But we're here to talk a little bit about Halloween Ends, unless the conversation gets taken. Otherwise, I don't care. We can talk about whatever. Yeah, Kills is the first Halloween movie where Laurie and Michael don't share a scene together. Ooh, I've never even thought about that. You got a point there. I like how it's not all about Laurie. It makes it scarier. Yeah, T. Parker Evans, I agree. I think it's cool that it's not just Michael trying to do whatever he has to go after Laurie. It's something we've just seen done a lot. You know what I mean? We've seen it done a lot. Always Michael Myers going after one character, something along those lines. I like that this time around, it's just Michael Myers is a psychopath and nobody in this town understands him. The whole thing is based off of that idea, which is so cool. Little Michael Myers, mini me Michael Myers is saying, this is not my theory, but the theory is that Michael can pass his evil onto somebody else. Here's evidence Dr. Sartain turns on Officer Hawkins. I think there is some truth to that, and hear me out here, because I'm not saying like Jason Goes to Hell vibes where like Michael Myers is a slug that lives inside of the body of Michael Myers. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is I do feel like there's this like mentality about Michael Myers. Everyone feels like they have to take care of it. Everyone's horrified about that. That is how I feel like he's passing his evil onto other people, by inciting fear in people, and then they don't know how to handle it. That I feel like is a total theme going throughout these movies, and I love it, but don't make it the whole thing. Like, I love that being a theme, but in Halloween Kills, it does become a little too much, especially when you have Tommy Doyle screaming "Evil dies tonight" 100 million times. So, but it's cool. I do really enjoy that little theme that's, for the most part, in the background of these new movies. Jason Dyer with the $5 super chat. Jason, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I really hope there's a scene where Michael is staring out the window. Can't wait for Terrifier 2, so we need a Friday the 13th movie. I agree. I just like everything you're saying, Jason. I love it. Especially with Michael staring out the window again. This is something that it was speaking of Terrifier 2, criticized by the Terrifier people about how, well, I think Damien Leone said it, or David Howard Thornton, one of them, was saying along the lines of, I'm not just going to be staring out the window. Aren't the clowns going to be killing people? I'm totally paraphrasing here, but I love that. I think that's really funny. But I do actually like that aspect of Kills, where the whole idea of he's looking out the window, is he looking out of the window, or is he looking at the reflection of himself? That totally goes with the whole idea of trying to explain Michael. Everyone wants an answer, but no one's getting that answer, which is why I really think that with that idea in mind, I feel like Ends is going to have this dark ending, and they've kind of been foreboding. It's been really foreboding. They've been predicting this to happen throughout the entire new trilogy. I think, is the whole idea of like, you want these answers, you want this to happen, you want this to be explained, but it's not going to happen. Michael's going to make sure it doesn't happen, which I'm totally fine with. I'm totally fine with them never answering that. I'm so okay with that. As long as you have Michael Myers just killing people, it's vicious again, and it's good. You set it up right with the stalking and all those things along those lines. But then you also have just a good story underneath with all the characters. If a bunch of people die, if almost everybody dies, okay, as long as it's a good story. I can't wait to see it. But yeah, I can't wait for Terrifier 2 either, man. I'm so pumped for that. Massive thanks to Bloody Disgusting, the biggest horror news network out there, who gave me a shout out on their Twitter page, which was so cool, and reposted my Terrifier 2 video that I did recently. So thank you so much to the Bloody Disgusting people. That was so cool. So I'm very excited for that film too. Can't wait for both of these films. I'm so excited about, which we're probably getting around the same time as well. And everyone wants a new Friday the 13th flick. Of course. Hopefully. Fingers crossed we get that sometime soon as well. Unfortunately, we're probably going to get Freddy's return before Jason, though, is what I'm thinking. That's kind of where I'm at. Conrad here with a $2 super chat. Conrad, thank you so much. I appreciate that. What do you think of today's horror? And although a general, simple question, a good one, a very good question, Conrad, I think that a lot of people criticize today's horror for being a little too soft, a little too, it's just playing off of modern tropes a little too much. And I feel like people have been saying that about horror for a very long time. Like every generation of something new, people are going to criticize it. So I think that there's a lot of really good stuff in the horror space nowadays. It's just you got to look for it a little more. There's so much of it. It's not just one movie that comes out that's awesome and everyone's like, holy crap, this is crazy. There's a new movie like every week. Like if I really wanted to cover it would be an impossible task to cover every single update on every single horror movie out there, because there's so many good ones. There's so many that fall under the radar, unfortunately, just because there's the market is so saturated. There's so many movies out there. It's impossible to check out everything. And I think that's why these movies that rise to the top, if they're like a franchise sequel or something along those lines, people judge the entire space of horror just off of that. I think that's unfair, because we're like right now, the biggest horror movies to talk about are like the new Scream, the new Halloween, like Nope, Jordan Peele's Nope, which I really love that. Actually, that doesn't really work with this example, but if you're just judging things off of the franchise continuations like Ends or the new Scream, I just feel like that's not fair, because there's a lot of good horror movies still coming out. Like there's a lot of good original flicks still coming out every single year. And it's truly impressive. There's a lot of original, amazing ideas that come out every single year. And unfortunately, people just don't see them, which is why I feel like you have that criticism of today's horror movies. But I love it. I love, there's some of my favorite movies ever have come out just in the past 5 years. I think personally, we're going through a whole new horror renaissance right now, but that's just my opinion. Not everyone will agree with that, and that's okay. So. Jake and Fangoria. Oh my god, my head would fucking explode if that happened. Cause you're all grown-ups. That's funny. Thank you, Jason. I would love that if Fangoria was just like, hey, you want to write a little panel for us? My head might explode. I would fucking lose my mind. That's awesome. Thank you for the super chat, Jason. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just don't, we got something from Extron Gaming talking a little more about Halloween. I just don't think Halloween 6, Resurrection, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, all I felt didn't end their respective timelines well. This is why I'm worried for Halloween Ends and how it will end. Yeah, no, you actually have a really good point here, Extron. I mean, the Halloween franchise is not exactly known for how they end their timelines. So I really hope that if they are not known for ending the timelines well. I really hope they do it right this time. David Gordon Green has an amazing opportunity here to do something different from all those films you mentioned. And I would love for something just conclusive. Maybe that completely goes against the mystique of what Halloween is and goes against what Michael Myers is as a character. But we're going on with a lot of sequels here. If we wanted to actually give us a conclusive ending to one of the timelines, hey, I'm okay with that just because it's something different. We're going to get new Halloween movies sometime in the future. Listen, I guarantee you someone else is going to pick up Halloween and do it again sometime in the future in a brand new timeline. And honestly, I'm down for it whenever they do it. But with David Gordon Green's trilogy, a somewhat conclusive ending might be nice. Doesn't necessarily mean Michael has to die, just something where it's like, this is a conclusion. Everything's either back to normal or a total disaster, or everyone's dead. As long as it ends, I'm okay with it. So, Mohammed with a really big super chat. Thank you so much. What are your thoughts on Misery? I'm asking because I watched it today and thought it was very good, and I hope Scream 6 doesn't follow the regular template and has surprises within its structure and execution. I love all of this, Mohammed. I like everything you're saying here. I love Misery. I actually rest in peace to the great James Caan, who unfortunately passed away very recently. I'm gonna have to rewatch this one for sure. This is it's a really amazing movie. It's definitely one of my maybe not a top 10 Stephen King adaptation movie, that's a really tough call because it might be for me. I once again, I got to go back and watch it. But I remember genuinely really liking the flick. I really enjoy Misery. It's a very fun little movie. Hard to watch at points. I think you know what I'm talking about with the hobbling scene. I think it's really scary. I think it's a really it's a really cool movie based off of Stephen King's worst fear too. I really like it. It's a good one. I definitely need a rewatch because it's been a long time since I've seen it. I think everyone remembers like the scene from Misery, of course, like I just previously mentioned. But I enjoy it for the most part. It's a good flick. And with Scream 6, yes, give us something different. Give us something that's surprising and doesn't follow the same old structure. And for the love of God, please don't give us something that is just Scream 2 but modernized. So thank you for the support, Mohammed. I appreciate that. We have Screaming for Conrad. If I can get, here we go. Okay, there we go. What are your top 5 favorite horror films of all time and why? Asks Conrad. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. This is a great question and something that is just so tough to answer because there's so many good horror flicks out there. It's like, how can you narrow it down to just 5 ones that you love? Off the top of my head, there's a few films that have really just been super influential and that are just near and dear to my heart. That is I love Hereditary. The original Halloween is slowly going up to my top 5. I got to be honest. It Follows is one that I absolutely just I'm enamored to that flick. It's just there's something so special about it. I absolutely love Insidious too. Insidious is definitely a top 5 for me. I've gone back and watched that so many times. Terrifier is moving up my list. I don't know if it's a top 5, but I love Terrifier for sure. I just rewatched that the other day. Man, for a 5th film though to go into that list, oh, that's probably tough. Maybe Scream. Scream is it's very underrated. A lot of people, I feel like when I talk to just general people about Scream, they're like, oh yeah, I like that flick, but it's a little cheesy, and all that. But man, that original Scream film is just a masterpiece. It's a masterclass of filmmaking and how it's shot and the score, the little I love piano in horror films, which I know is such a weird little thing to bring up, especially about Scream. But that little the theme when you have Sydney just looking over at Casey Becker's empty desk and it plays that little da 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 da, that little thing. Oh, it's little things like that make horror movies special to me, and all those films I mentioned all have those little tiny attention to detail things. So good question, Conrad. That's a tough question though. It's something that that's off the top of my head, my top 5, but that's something I'd have to think about for 100,000 years, and then I maybe would come up with an answer. Conrad also threw in a super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Conrad. Thank you for all your support. I'm seeing a lot of super chats right now too, which once again, I just thank you all so much. You guys are awesome. I don't know what I would do without y'all. Old School, once again, another $5 super chat. Thank you. I think it will end with Lori and Michael both dying. And this is what I've seen is the consensus. A lot of people are saying this. A lot of people are saying this about Lori and Michael, just they're both going to bite it. I totally see that. I totally see that being the case. I understand why it's the jet, what everyone kind of thinks is going to be the outcome of this film, especially because of how the tone of these movies has been. It's always been it's been pretty positive for the most part. You've had some really funny, silly scenes, but then you also have these really dark, messed up moments as well with the kills, with the endings of both of these flicks. They're pretty dark. Halloween 2018, yes, is a somewhat positive ending, but it ultimately is pretty dark for those characters. Let's say kills never happened and the story were to continue a year later. Allison still lost her dad. You know what I mean? That's not a happy ending for everybody. It's a little bittersweet, which is how I feel the entire new trilogy is going to end. Bittersweet. Not exactly going to be super happy, but not exactly going to be the darkest thing you've ever seen either. So I concur. With that, Old School. Some good stuff there. Carter Scotland Allen with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Carter. Some good stuff over on his page, by the way, if you don't subscribe to him. Saying, will you review Prey and rank the Predator franchise? Yes, and yes. I will be talking about all these things, and I will be doing some kind of ranking when it comes out, as well as with the Halloween franchise. When Ends comes out, I'm probably going to rank the entire franchise again. And don't go back and watch this video because it's awful. I don't like it. It's one of my first videos I ever made. I ranked all the Halloween movies, and I completely disagree with the ranking now. Now that I've had some more time to simmer with the franchise, I feel completely different about it. But yes, I will be re-ranking. I will be ranking all all 5 of the Predator movies when Prey comes out on August 5th over on Hulu. I'm going to do a video about that as soon as possible. And then I will probably be ranking all 5 of the Predator films, which will probably surprise you as to how I rank them. That's all I'm going to say. There's a sequel that I think is my favorite Predator film out of all of them. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. But good stuff, Carter. I appreciate it all. Holy crap. You guys are killing it tonight. There's so many super chats. I can't even keep up with it. Thank you all. Thank you. Conrad saying Hereditary is just so perfect. I agree with that. It really is. I know a lot of people don't like it because of the ending. And I think that's why I love it so much. It's definitely a movie that's maybe a little polarizing, but my buddy Christian, who is like just a really good friend of mine, helping me out with this film we're making. Me and him really disagree about Hereditary, but it's interesting. I love that. I love when people disagree with me. I always learn something. I try not to shun people out who disagree with me, but I always try to I always try to discuss with them and to learn about like why they feel a certain way about things if I don't see it from that perspective. And he doesn't like the ending because he feels like it gets a little too supernatural. What I love about Hereditary, it's kind of a like a family tragedy movie disguised. No, that's not the right way to say that. It's a paranormal flick disguised as a family drama tragedy kind of flick, because there's paranormal aspects throughout the entire movie. You just got to look for them. So good stuff. I agree with that, Conrad. Good stuff. Thank you for the super chat. Christina Blackwell, what is up? What's up, Christina? Thank you for stopping in and hanging out with me. And thank you for the $5 super chat saying, what part do you think the Mulaney's will have in Ends? The Mulaney's? Are you talking about I know there was a new character that just got announced. If that's what or it's rumored to be a part of this. I know that there's like a brother character or something along those lines. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Off the top of my head, I am not 100% sure what you mean by that. I'm very there's a lot of new characters that have been rumored to be in Ends though, and I'm sure they're going to play some kind of crazy part in it. I'm really excited to see where it goes and how different it's going to be. Well, how are they going to introduce new characters in the final chapter of something and have them still play a part in the role of everything, or if this character is just going to be introduced and then killed like a lot of the characters in these past 2 flicks. You got to wonder that. So Christina, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate it. We have Purple and Gold again. Just kill it. Y'all are killing it tonight. Huge fan of Peele, like his work on the Twilight Zone. You know, I gotta be honest, I was talking about this the other night. I was talking with a buddy of mine the other night about Jordan Peele and all of his work. I've only seen a little bit of the Twilight Zone, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't love it like how I thought I was going to. I think he kills it, like playing the part of Rod Serling as he introduces things. He's like the presenter and all that, and he kills it. He does a really good job there. But a lot of the stories, I saw like 3 episodes, so that's I saw like the first 3 episodes. I just didn't love. I did like they felt Twilight Zone-ish, you know? So there you go. Props to the writers for that. But ultimately just not my favorite little stories. I don't know, man. Twilight Zone is one of those things where it's very hit or miss for me, though. I'm very critical of things like that, especially when you're trying to mimic something that I love so much. That original Twilight Zone with Rod Serling is just, amazing, and really paved the way for a lot of future horror flicks. Like there are so many horror movies that are loosely based on old Twilight Zone movies. That continues today with films like from Jordan Peele, Us. So there's a lot of great stuff from that original Twilight Zone. If you're going to do that again in modern day, you gotta get some good writers. You gotta get some people who know what the hell they're doing. I have not seen Lovecraft Country though, which I hear is phenomenal. I have not seen that yet, but I hear it's pretty good. I do want to check that out at some point. That is all I know. That's really I've only seen 3 episodes of the new Twilight Zone, and yeah, it's okay. You know, it's not bad. I don't need these headphones on. I don't even know why I have them on. Gonna be honest. Who are your favorite side characters in the Nightmare on Elm Street films? Kincaid, easy. Kincaid is an easy favorite side character. And where do you rank them from your least to most favorite characters? You know, I don't know too many of their names off the top of my head. Kincaid is one that sticks out to me. I really love him in Dream Warriors, and then they kill him off in 4, which is like, oh man, I don't know, but man, this is a good question, because there is a lot of good side characters. There's some funny moments with them throughout the Nightmare franchise. This is definitely one I'll have to come back to you on, Conrad, and I'll have to go through those films again and get you some side characters. That's a really specific question, but I like that. Kincaid is one I've always felt was super underrated though. I love him. He's a great character. So Thank you for the $10 super chat, though, Conrad. Like I said, I'll get back to you on that. I'll get you a crazier answer at some point in the future. Extron saying, "Do you hate the Scream as a franchise? Doesn't get much respect or credit for what it is because of Scary Movie." If you're asking me if I hate the Scary Movie franchise for that reason, like, do I not like Scary Movie because it Scary Movie does get the credit of being like, oh, that's where Ghostface comes from sometimes. So for that reason, it's a little annoying. I'm also kind of annoyed that before Scream 5, I'm pretty sure Scary Movie had like made like a shit ton more money than the franchise. I don't know if that's still true or not with Scream 5's box office. I'm not 100% on that. But I remember always being like, of course, the parody franchise makes more money than the original. So that's really funny. The Mulaney's are the kids from the 1978 flashback. Okay, so like the bully kids. Yeah, okay. I mean, if they're coming back, okay, well, if those kids are coming back, I'll tell you right now, they're gonna get killed, straight up. Any jerk character in these movies has met their fate in a really nasty way. I guarantee you, we get some kind of like nasty scene with them, like maybe where like they're like, I don't want to say Rob Zombie-esque, but like maybe they're all kind of crappy to each other or something along those lines, and they get murked. That's if they're coming back, that's why. There you go. Off the top of my head, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And it's not the first time David Gordon Green has done this. I mean, if we all in Halloween Kills, he brings back a lot of characters just to kill them, and also to be like, oh hey, remember that character from the past movies? Which I wish they would have done a little more with some of the characters they brought back, but I mean, it was I still enjoyed Kills. It's still fun. So if they do come back, they're getting killed. Where can I watch the new trailer? I like the gorilla. Nice. I like your profile picture with the banana. I like me some bananas. Where can I watch the new trailer? Great question. Probably here on YouTube and hopefully a couple days. I'm really hoping we see it soon. That's something I actually wanted to get into, and we're 45 minutes into this live stream, and I'm just getting to it. So with the new trailer, it has been confirmed that it's going to be a shorter trailer than usual. I think it's only like a minute. It clocks in at like a minute something or something along those lines for when we do get it. But I don't know. I think that's positive news for the most part. But with the trailer, I really want it to be like not a whole lot of new stuff. I remember hearing that the CinemaCon trailer was like a lot of recycled old footage, plus a little bit of a new footage when we get Laurie and Michael fighting each other, which is all I want. Like if that's the whole trailer, cool. Like that's fine with me. If they want to throw that out, maybe some more marketing stuff that takes that same approach where it's recycled footage from the past saying the epic conclusion comes out this October. I am so okay with that. That is totally fine. And that's even easier than having to color grade raw footage or something and throw it into your trailer. Just do that. That's totally fine with me. Just throw some recycled footage in there, maybe a couple of new scenes towards the end. That's it. Just build the hype a little bit and don't spoil anything. Please. Universal. I'm praying. Please don't spoil this movie. We have this person saying Neve Campbell signs secret contract for Scream 6 and 7. My sources on set and production have confirmed that Neve Campbell has signed on to Scream 6 for $3 million with a $7 million option for 7. I really hope that's true. You know, we have a lot of people saying that right now. So I can't confirm that one way or the other. We have like really big third-party sources saying that as well. I hope it's true. You know, it's one of those things where I hope it's true, but I don't know if it is true. And because especially we have viewer Anon even saying some stuff where he's kind of fallen back on his previous statement about Neve Campbell. He had said something along the lines of, well, if this isn't true, then that's my bad. My sources have been right in the past, so that's why I'm trusting them. So it kind of feels like maybe he's not retracting his statement, but he's kind of maybe going back on it a little bit. I hope it's true, and I definitely do feel like there is some truth to the studio maybe pitching a counter offer to her now after fans' response. Not only the fans, but like people involved with the past films have come out and spoken against the studio, saying, "What the hell? You should be paying Neve Campbell more money." So I'm curious. I'm curious what actually does happen if she does come back for a cameo role or like a bigger role in 7, yada yada. I'm very curious to see what happens. But it's this late in filming. I just don't know if it's gonna happen. I would love for her to come back. I can't stress that enough. But I don't think it is. I just realized someone wrote on my calendar a big penis. Wow, that is. How have I not noticed that until now? That is not good. Anyways, getting back on track here. Purple and Gold with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hereditary had me genuinely feeling traumatized. Me too, man. I left that theater and I walked right back in to go see it again the same night. I was like, this is insane. I've never seen anything like this before. It really, for the first time in my adult life, I was terrified to my core by a movie when I saw that. It really messed me up. I absolutely love that. The whole ending is like the most upsetting thing I've ever watched in my life. I've never been more afraid of naked old people until that movie. That was the movie that did it for me. That was like, okay, I'm officially now terrified of of naked old people. So there you go. some good stuff there. I love that movie, man. We got people already talking about Scream 8. Holy crap. Who's with me? I'm with you. Clement? I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Really 1 minute and 16 seconds. I know they don't want to spoil too much, but still a bit of a cop-out. See, I don't know, Zach, because I've been kind of worried about this trailer spoiling things, and I'd rather get just like a little something rather than something crazy. Like I just want to see a little bit of the movie. I want to be shocked when I go into the movie. I want there to be a lot of surprises that I'm not expecting, and I don't want that to be translated in the trailer, because you might not show something in the trailer that spoils something about the movie, but it could essentially, like, oh, maybe we can start theorizing a little too much about things. You can't show too much from your movie to kind of give away where something could go, because there's already a bunch of fan speculation. There are people who are going to watch that trailer to death. So if you only showed one scene from the entire movie in your trailer, like if your whole trailer was just like a bit of a scene from the movie, that's enough. Like that is absolutely enough for me personally, just to get me interested, just to get me to come to a theater in October. And that's the point of a trailer after all. It's not to spoil a film, it's just to build hype, it's to build excitement for a flick. So I love your shirt so much. Thank you so much, Jaws Source. Thank you. Hearing that the Halloween Ends trailer is coming out on Friday, is this true? I hope so. I think that would be a good time to do it too. That would be a good time to throw out the trailer, in my opinion. I think releasing it sometime around Nope's release, also coming from Universal, would make a lot of sense. So to advertise it at the same time, I guarantee you it comes out before the 22nd. I'm gonna stick with that. Honestly, I think for sure that's probably gonna happen. I love how I talked about naked old people, and now we have a bunch of people commenting on that. X made me terrified of naked old people. We've had a lot of that in horror in the past 5 years. T. Parker Evans, and there you go. That's probably the best example of it, as well as The Visit, from Rick. Good stuff. Check out the new Altered Horror shorts with Micah Monroe. What? Altered put out a short with Micah Monroe and Joe Keery. Fuck yeah, I am all about that. Ooh, man, if you guys don't watch Alter, they put out some really good stuff. I love them and Crypt TV, but man, like Alter, ooh, man, they got some scary stuff over on that page. That's a really great channel over there. I'm really gonna have to check that one out, Carter. Ooh, that really interests me. Micah Monroe's amazing. We already got love for her in the chat here, saying she's very underrated from Conrad. Absolutely Tootie. Ooh, Micah Monroe kills it in this year's Watcher, by the way, if you guys have not seen that yet. She's also the lead in It Follows. Like I said, top 5 horror movie right there. You're going to have to check that one out if you have not seen it. I really like it. Andrew talking a little bit about Insidious 5. Andrew, if I had some answers to Insidious 5, my God, I would be spilling them out somewhere, talking about it. I wish we had some kind of update on that. Last we heard was all the way back in 2020. Patrick Wilson said he was going to direct, have Ty Simpkins back on board. Possibly, I can't remember her name, but the girl who also stars in Insidious, the wife, might be back. The Lamberts are apparently back for Insidious 5, but we really have had little to no update about the film since then. We've had Patrick Wilson kind of talking about it. I think a faux trailer came out from somebody recently where it was like a fake Insidious 5 trailer, and Patrick Wilson tweeted about it saying like, oh man, this looks really good, but they're using clips from the past movie or something like that. He's like, we'll be working on it soon. There'll be some kind of announcement soon. That was like fucking 4 months ago or something now though, unfortunately. So hopefully we get an update on it. Hopefully we find out it's actually happening, because that would be sweet. We have Deanna talking some facts here. We need Jeepers Creepers to get their shit together without giving any support to the old director. Good stuff. Good Deanna. Good stuff there. Yes, I do really like those first 2 movies. I got to be honest. I really hope that they can. I just haven't been talking about it. You know, I know there's been some updates, some things to talk about, like legal wise, like some of the like behind the scenes stuff about what's going on with all that. Man, I'm so not excited for the movie anymore. It's been hard to do those updates. I get to the point where I'm almost like I have to fake my excitement for Jeepers Creepers, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to make a video where I'm faking my excitement for something. So I might talk about it in the future. I might kind of recap some of the stuff that's happened in the past couple of months. I'm gonna kind of talk about why I don't really want to talk about it anymore, because I'm so not excited for the new Jeepers Creepers at this point. Like I don't know. I doubt it's good. I don't know if there's any hope for that flick. But hey, maybe one day in the future we'll get a good Jeepers Creepers flick. I hope. Got my fingers crossed. Mohammed with another super chat. Mohammed, thank you. On Insidious, what are your thoughts on the franchise overall? Well, I did a ranking video of all 4 of the movies, and I was very serious about how much I love all 4 flicks. I really think all of them are a lot of fun. I do think that it has like 2 and 4 I have a few issues with, but like 1 and 3 are masterful horror movies in my opinion. I think they're really scary, really good things there. Really good things going on throughout the entire franchise, but 2 I think is kind of weird. With the villain, I don't love the villain in Insidious 2, and then Insidious 4 has some kind of whack writing with the dialogue, and the way the 4th one is set up is a little strange to me. I still love it. I still think it's super scary, and I still really like it. The entire franchise I think is fantastic. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the Insidious franchise. I think it's very underrated. A lot of people chalk it up to just like, oh, it's just another jump scare horror movie. It's so much more than that. Like, ooh. Give those ones another watch, man. That's all I gotta say. What's up, John Smith? What's up? John, I have received your message on Facebook. I have just not been able to get to it yet. Your boy's been busy. I didn't sleep for the past 2 days, pretty much. Like, I finally got to rest last night. I slept for like 12 hours straight. It was insane. But Saturday, Sunday, we were filming like all day on both days. It was nuts. So, John, I'm gonna get to your message sometime soon. Ooh, Maverick Media saying, Jake, can you give me your biggest sales pitch for why to watch Hereditary? I remember feeling met when I saw the trailer. The title Hereditary just gave off pretentious vibes, so I checked it out. Did you not like it at first? I'm curious, like, why did you not like it? Because that affects my sales pitch. if you've seen it, if you didn't like it. If you just know about like the advertising and all that, I can say this. I went into Hereditary after seeing all the advertising and stuff, just being like, this looks okay, whatever. There's a cool shot in the trailer where a dead body floats up into like the tree house or whatever. So I was kind of like, that might be cool, I guess. I wasn't super impressed with the marketing either. There was not a lot about it where I was like, yeah, I need to go see this film. My girlfriend at the time wanted to go see a horror movie. And you're saying, no, I checked it out. I did not see it because of those things. Oh, I got you. So you didn't actually see the flick. I'll say this. I think it's one of those movies that it starts off like your pretty generic, typical horror flick, but like 25 minutes in takes a turn that you just did not expect at all. It does a lot of things that I feel like other horror films today just won't even dare touch, won't even try to do something along those lines. And it does it in a way that's set up not in a super grotesque way, but there's some horrible things that happen throughout the film's runtime. But it's not like constant, like, here's someone dying, here's some horrible thing happening, here's terrible thing after terrible thing. It sets up things real nice. It takes its time. It lets the people breathe who's watching it, but then drops something fucked up on you out of nowhere. And it's set up really nicely. It's written really well. I believe the relationship between all the characters. I don't know. I don't have too many problems with it. I think it's a really scary, fucked up flick. The Toni Collette's performance, she was robbed of an Oscar from this flick, in my opinion. Her whole little monologue at the dinner table is like one of the most iconic scenes in a horror movie from the past 5 years, I think, personally. I don't know. I really think that's one of those flicks that in 5 more years, people will consider that a horror classic, like for sure. Without a doubt in my mind, people will consider that one of the better horror flicks of the 2010s, for sure. Even though I know some people don't love it right now. So, interesting question. Which term do you like better, legacy sequel or requel better? Well, see, there's some truth to both, and I think requel actually identifies a lot of the things wrong with this new genre of like of continuations, if that makes any sense. Like, there's been this wave of continuations that are either like continuations of the original, erase something from the past, do something different and modern, yada yada. And requel, I think, perfectly represents that, because requels have the same positives and negatives that a remake and a sequel have. And that's where a lot of the plot problems lie with these flicks. It's a lot of everything. There's some negatives, there's some positives, but there's even more negatives and positives across the board. They're harder films to talk about for that reason, but that also it's a whole new flavor. It's a whole new flavor that we're still trying to understand and see how the best way to do it is. There's only a few requels that I really like, and that's really like Halloween 2018 and Scream 5 too. I really like. Halloween 2018 I think is easily the best out of all of them. But I did. Candyman was shot beautifully. The score was amazing. The performances were great. But I just didn't love. I just didn't. I don't know. It just wasn't something that struck me as like, holy crap, this is the best horror movie ever. It's a genuinely a really well made film. But Candyman was just kind of like, I don't know. It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't bad. Give me a sale pitch for why to watch Jaws. Never seen it and I want to check it out. Because it's the best shark movie ever made, easily. If you like shark movies, you'll love if you like sharks, you'll like the movie Jaws. If you like well-written scripts or masterful character moments, you'll love Jaws. Jaws is one of my all-time favorites, man. It's so good. It's so scary, and it's rated PG and has one of the most brutal fucking kills I've ever seen in a horror movie ever. So if you want a PG movie that's pretty messed up, Jaws is the way to go, my friend. And let me tell you, it should have been probably R-rated. I'll tell you that. So it's a mystery, that movie. You'll love Jaws. There's so many things to love about it. Between the score, the music, I think is just alone enough to go and check it out. But also the characters are so great. Jaws made me cry on my 6th birthday seeing the poster. Carter, we were talking about this the other day I had a whole stream just talking about the Jaws franchise, and it was awesome. If you've never seen a shark movie, the only one you ever actually have to see is Jaws. I will say that. Like, there's a lot of good shark movies, but easily the best one, number one, hands down, is Jaws. I don't even think it's arguable. But yeah, Steven Spielberg is amazing. Ty said it best. He's a masterful director. So, ooh, Extron, throwing out a good question here. I probably like Scream 5 more. But Halloween Kills, I appreciate for really just doing something different, just being completely out there. And I appreciate it for being a little more experimental and trying things we've never seen in the Halloween franchise. Like, I think the whole mob mentality thing's really cool. But Halloween Kills also falls into a lot of the same traps that both Halloween 2 and like Halloween 4 kind of fell into, which is like, you're kind of taking the same ideas from both of those flicks and making a movie out of it. Like, if you're watching those movies, how do you not try to avoid those problems? I don't know. That's my thing about Halloween Kills. And the same thing with Scream 5. Like, Scream 5 has all the problems of all the Scream movies still, but I don't know. It's like, it does do some new things, and Scream 5 is cool for that reason. But I don't know, man. I just, some of these requels have been a little bit like a lot of hype and a little bit of disappointment because of that. So I want Scream 6 to be a little more experimental, and I want Halloween Ends to not be as experimental, which I'm horrified that the opposite is going to be true. But who knows? Who knows what'll happen? Anything is possible at this point. Anything and everything. So, ooh, Purple and Gold just spitting facts here, talking about after Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers need to do some horror. I could not agree more with you, my dude. We actually have plans for them to do The Talisman, which is a book by Stephen King and I believe Peter Straub, or whatever, something along those lines. I've never read it before, but it's one of my dad's favorite stories, like, ever. So I hear it's going to be good. I'm very excited for that. We even have a little Easter egg of that in Stranger Things season 4 with Lucas reading to a certain character, because I can't say that or that's a spoiler, the talisman in that new season. So I'm excited for them to do that. But listen, after season 4 of Stranger Things, they have earned their place in doing the next Nightmare film. That's all I'm going to say. The Duffers should really move the movies. I know they're killing it with Netflix. They're killing it with Stranger Things, and they have a bunch of things lined up, but I would love for them to direct a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I think if anyone's going to do it, they have paved that path for themselves to do it. So, I couldn't recommend that. Couldn't recommend it more. Ooh, what are we talking about here, though? Never seen Spiral. Is it any good? And how is it attached to Saw? We have Carter saying I would skip it. Ooh, hot take. It was nothing but, and you're saying it's nothing but rehashed story material, except this time with a recognizable cast. Okay, I see what you're saying. It's definitely not the best Saw movie. I'll say that, but from Chris Rock's performance and Sam Jackson's performance alone, I think it's not that bad. It's pretty good for that reason. I don't like the ending at all. I think the ending is so translated. The twist is unbelievably apparent the entire movie, but I do still really like it though. I have come back to it a few times. It's weird. It's one of those movies where it's like some scenes are really well done and really excellent, and then other scenes are just like, it feels like they were made by another director, another movie. So I still recommend it. You're saying it's not necessarily bad. I'm not huge on Saw anyways, but it just wasn't what I expected from a more fresh take. Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that not everybody's gonna love for sure. But I say it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch just from how they do everything. If you like Saw, you'll like Spiral, I think. But it's definitely nowhere near the best Saw film. If I had to rank the Saw movies, that would be tough. I'd have to go back and rewatch all of those. I just got to say this right now. Saw 6, supremacy, man. Holy crap. Saw 6, I think, is easily my favorite Saw movie, which is probably a hot take. But man, I don't know. Saw 6 is just perfect. It's really one of the better. It's probably the best like 6th installment to a franchise ever, which is such a weird thing to say. But ooh, man, Saw 6 goes hard. Love Saw 6. Thanks, fellas. You're welcome, Deanna. Of course. Overall, Spiral is a middle of the road Saw movie. If you're a hardcore fan, then definitely check it out. Yeah. I think it's not awful, you know. It's not like, oh god, this is so like I'm pinching myself, like this can't be real, you know. It's not like that, but it's definitely nowhere near the best. So Radley's vlog saying, do you like the idea of Halloween Ends Michael to look similar to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Michael? To which I would say, oh my god, heck no. Let's not do that. I just rewatched Rob Zombie's Halloween for this live stream, talk a little bit about it, talk about the mask, talk about what they're going to do with Michael in this new flick. And I just really hope that they're not going to, because look at it this way. The first Halloween in this timeline, Halloween 2018, kind of pays homage to the original much more than anything else. There's some elements of some of the other franchises as well, little Easter eggs throughout. And then you have Halloween Kills kind of doing some similar things from like 4 and 2 of the original movies. I've been kind of concerned that maybe this new movie would like reference like Resurrection H2O era as well as like Rob Zombie era by having the Michael mask be similar to Michael's mask in Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie. I don't think that's any necessary. I don't think it's necessary. Why I say that is because it completely loses the mystique of what Michael is at the end of the day. The blank white face is representative of how he is on the inside, the shape of evil and all that. So you got to give me that like faceless killer, or it's just not Halloween. There are some things that are just embedded in the DNA of a franchise, and that's one of those things. Taking off Michael's mask, showing his face, kind of goes against that a little bit. I like how they've done it in the past, where whenever you see Michael's face, it's either too dark to really see everything, or maybe it's a little blurry. Some of the shots are like, it's not like the best shot. You can just catch like the corner of his cheek in the other, the one side of the frame or whatever. That's how they have to do it, in my opinion. And we have some Jason Lives Love talking about 6th installments and franchises. That's also a good one. I have my opinions on Jason Lives, though. I think the first half is awesome and the second half not so much. Just my take, though. Just my take. I'm still at work, but I am in office counting and listening to Mr. KillJoy here. Thank you, Carrie. Thanks for stopping by the stream. I appreciate it. I'm sorry you got to be at work so late. I hope you get out. I hope you get out soon. Thanks for stopping by the stream, though. I appreciate it. What about Hush, the horror movie based on a Stephen King novel? I don't believe Hush is based on a Stephen King novel to my knowledge. Hush 2016 from Mr. Mike Flanagan, who's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Mike Flanagan has done some Stephen King though with Doctor Sleep and what's the other one? It's killing me. It's slipping me now. Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game also. Both of those are Stephen King from Mr. Mike Flanagan. So, have you ever seen the movie Evidence from 2013? I have not, but I'm gonna add it to the list because I like me some good twists, Deanna. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Just gonna have to check that one out real soon here. So I am going to say this though, y'all. I'm probably going to end the stream sometime soon. I unfortunately can't do a longer stream today. I would love to, but your boy is setting up an entire set for the ending of our movie, which we have finally gotten to Act 3. We had to film everything else before Act 3 for the movie, but this weekend we're finally there. So I got to start setting up the set sometime soon, but I'm gonna take a few questions right at the end here. We're gonna go for another like 15 minutes or so, and then I'm probably gonna end it. So, but I do seriously thank you everyone for stopping by the stream today. The support has been insane on the stream. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thanks for hanging out with me for the time that we have. So I do appreciate that. Carter's saying that Bodies might be a flop, although I'm still extremely excited for it. And, you know, I am concerned. I'm worried about it for sure with all the production issues and rewrite. You know, we had Chloe Okuno come in and rewrite the scripts and all that. So, little worrisome there. But I'm still excited for it. Listen, anything that comes out from A24 horror wise, your boy's gonna be there opening night. So I'm excited for it regardless. I think it's gonna be good. Definitely one I'll be talking about in August, first week of August. I'm very excited for it. So. I'm out at 10 o'clock. At 10, but it's all good. I am off tomorrow, and I'll be working on a video after so long. Good. Okay, good stuff, Carrie. Good. Well, I hope the last hour and a half of work ain't too bad then. So, you can make it through. When will the trailer come out for Halloween Ends? Slasher, I would probably say like it has to come out before Nope because they're definitely going to want to show it opening night for Nope. That's a really big horror movie, probably the biggest horror movie of the entire summer. So I think it would be a really massive misfire if Universal didn't release it anytime before the 21st. So we will definitely see the trailer this week or early next week for sure. I guarantee it. There's no way they don't release it before Nope comes out. That would just be such a missed opportunity in my opinion to not advertise your next thing on your big thing that comes out next week. Yeah, come on. Nah, it's definitely coming out next week. If we get a Nightmare on Elm Street movie and Robert Englund didn't come back to play Freddy, who would you want to play the Krugster? Man, like this is one of those things where I feel like there's a few people that totally could play him, but it has to be under the right director because man, if you have a Freddy that's either too silly or too scary, trying to be too serious or one way or the other, it's just not going to work out. You have to have someone like David Gordon Green directing this David Gordon Green really understands Halloween as a whole, I think, in my opinion personally. And that's why these new movies are so successful, why they're mostly loved by fans. You have to have somebody who really understands Nightmare on Elm Street to do it next, is what I think. So if they have someone who can direct who's ever playing Freddy the right way, it's going to be a good product. That to me is honestly the most important thing out of all this, because the guy who plays him in the 2010 movie, who I always forget his name, but he's also in Watchmen, and I love this actor. He's a good actor. Like, he's a really good actor. He kills it in Watchmen. He kills it on this show called Preacher, also as a bad guy. He's a really good actor, but man, he just doesn't play Freddy Krueger all that well in that movie, in my opinion. He's a little too creepy and gross, where Freddy Krueger's a little more like, I want to say, kind of like has the quips and the silliness to him, but he's also scary. He gets his kill in the end, but he's goofy about it. You know what I mean? It's not as serious as how his performance was supposed to be, I think. So if they got somebody who was like kind of a comedian who kind of looks like Freddy Krueger, Jackie Earl Haley. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. I love Jackie Earle Haley. I think he's a great actor. I really do. But he's not great in that role. Where someone would succeed though is if they got someone who is a comedian. Like in my opinion, Glenn Howerton would play a really good Freddy Krueger. Why I say that, I feel like he has the facial structure for it, he has the body type for it, and he's also like, although he's really silly, he can play really like kind of creepy and scary very well at the same time. So if you found a good balance of those two things in a new version of Freddy Krueger from Glenn Howerton, that would be pretty cool, I think. I think he would really kill it. That's why I'm really pushing for him, just to have that comedic edge to it. I don't want a new Freddy Krueger movie that's darker. I think with Nightmare, I want something that feels like the original again, where it's that nice balance of a little bit of silly, a little bit of scary. Mix it together, make it a little fantastical, and then there you go. You got yourself a good Nightmare on Elm Street continuation, I think. So we need something along those lines for the next Nightmare installment, is my opinion. But if they want to get someone like Richard Brake, who would also be great, he's a fantastic character actor and creature actor, I'm all about that too. But Robert Englund is, of course, number one in my heart. Just like how Carrie is saying here. Robert Englund is more lighthearted, but also dark at the same time. Perfect balance. Jackie as Freddy made me feel dirty, like I needed a million showers. Yeah, it's the difference between... I totally agree. Jackie Earle Haley comes off as like a creepy uncle who's like maybe a pervert. You know what I mean? Like that's how he comes off as a character. Freddy doesn't come off that way. Maybe in the sequels, but in that first movie, Freddy Krueger is just like kind of spooky. It's spooky more than like terrifying, is how I feel about it. That's the best way to do Nightmare on Elm Street, in my opinion. And you don't want to make a Nightmare on Elm Street film that feels exactly like everything else that's going on. I think that completely goes against what Nightmare is in the first place. You have these slew of slasher films that come out in the late 70s and early 80s that were all kind of the same thing. Wes Craven steps in there and comes up with Freddy Krueger, who's a little more silly, but it still follows the typical slasher format. And it totally changes horror in the mid 80s. So you'd have to do something along those lines with a new Nightmare on Elm Street flick. That's a little sillier. You know, it easily inspired movies like Return of the Living Dead, which is yet again another very familiar concept, but done in a sillier way. So you'd have to do it along those lines, in my opinion. That's where I think you could have the most successful Nightmare continuation. And I'm loving the love for Ethan Hawke as Freddy. We got a lot of people saying Ethan Hawke should do it, which also a great choice. I think he would kill it. He's very silly. Like he's a very silly actor, especially with his crazy characters. He has some silly moments, even in The Black Phone. Like he has some silly moments as the grabber, and I think it's great. So we'll just have to see. David says it perfectly. Freddy's biggest weakness cannot be Chris Hansen, which I think that is the best way to describe everything wrong with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as a whole. They introduced that in like, I think it's like the fourth movie or whatever, that his backstory that's so stupid and so horrible and so unnecessary. And then they bring it back for the remake. It's like, why do that? Don't love it. So there's my rant on that. Holy crap. Going to be busy, Jake. This was a lot of fun. I'll be on the next stream. Take care, everyone. Conrad, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know you're busy, and, stopping by and saying, hey, it does really mean a lot. So, Conrad, thanks for stopping by the stream. Thanks for all your support tonight. Thank you. Jake Davis is saying that the Halloween Ends news is making him nervous. I feel it, dude. Like, I'm getting a little nervous myself. I am kind of concerned for the film. But there is a silver lining to this, and this is actually a really nice ending note, I think. With anytime something is described as weird or something extremely different from anything else you've seen before, there's two options that can come from this. Something great and something really cool, something different, something we're aching for in the franchise, or something that just doesn't really work, something that is kind of an experiment that kind of doesn't really feel necessary. So there is that other side to all of this. Yes, we have, we're all kind of longing for a Halloween Ends movie that goes back to that original, where it's slow paced again and like kind of like is a build up to a big burn at the end, something along those lines. I'm still excited for Halloween Ends, though, because there is that possibility of it being something so different and something so like weird and like, oh, hey, this is something I've never seen before in the franchise. Cool. But I am kind of aching for something that feels a little more chilled out, I guess, with Ends, especially after Kills. That was so crazy and so experimental. So we'll just have to see in October, man. I'm excited for it regardless. I'm going to talk with Carter Scallon Allen, too, who just threw in a $10 super chat. Carter, thank you. After being a part of a $2 million feature, I gotta say congrats to you for even attempting to do a feature film at a low budget. Ours was tough, and I am absolutely hoping for success of Red Right Hand. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm working my ass off trying to make this thing something special because I really wanted to. I just really want to make a scream film that is different and not the same old structure. That's what I'm really longing for, and I'm worried that Scream 6 is going to be the same thing over and over again. And if Red Right Hand does nothing else, if people fucking hate it, cool. I don't care. The one point I want to make with Red Right Hand is that you can change up the formula and still have it be successful and still make a cool Scream film. That is all I care about with Red Right Hand. That's the big point I want to make with the film, and I hope it comes across. That's the big thing that's really important to me. So Carter, thank you so much for all that. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for your support, dude. Purple and Gold with the $2 super chat as well, saying Ethan Hawke is a great man. Loved him in Sinister. Yes, Ethan Hawke's amazing because he can play the villain so well and also the main character just so well, in my opinion. You have him doing that in Sinister, where he's the main character. He's the good guy, the protagonist. But then in Scott Derrickson's other big horror movie, which is of course The Black Phone that came out just a couple weeks ago, he plays the villain, and he kills it. He's a great villain. He's a great protagonist. He has a lot of range as an actor. He's awesome. Ethan Hawke's great. So if you have Ethan Hawke doing Freddy, it's not his first time working with Blumhouse. That's all I'm saying. So I could see him doing it. Especially after The Black Phone being so successful. So Peter saying The Black Phone sucked. You know, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but I loved the performances across the board. I think there was some story things and some stylistic choices that I didn't love, but it feels like a Scott Derrickson horror movie, and for that reason, it gets a 7 out of 10 in my book. So I still did really like it. I love Scott Derrickson's style. Like he's really, the way he makes horror films has this really grungy and gross appeal to them. So I'm excited. I hope we get to do a Red Right Hand watch party. Oh, all of December is gonna be a fun little, like, just promoting the movie and stuff. I will have a little teaser trailer in like a month, I'll say, because we have a lot of, we're almost done filming it. We only have like 2 more weeks of filming, really. So we just have to do the third act and like some pickup shots, some things I want to reshoot. Because after this weekend, we'll be done with the film technically, but there's a few more things I want to refilm after watching some of the footage back and just like do it a little differently. So, but yeah, no, absolutely. We will do some kind of premiere on here. Everyone who is a channel member or a Patreon supporter will be able to see the film a week early as well. A whole week. You'll get to see it a week before anyone else gets to see it, which is really exciting. So there you go. I think you guys are gonna love it. I'm so happy with what we filmed so far. I'm so excited. Oh my god, it's gonna be something really cool. It's gonna be fun. So your Thor 4 review rant made me laugh. Yeah, I just did not love the new Thor movie, man. I think it's easily the worst MCU easily the worst MCU film. And man, Phase 4 has not been impressive to me. And dude, 3C Films just put out an excellent video talking about all the behind the scenes shit that is going on at Marvel right now, which is just unfortunately not super great. They have some very unrealistic expectations for the people under them who are working with them. And my biggest thing about Thor 4 that I ranted about was the special effects look awful. Like across the board, the special effects are horrible. And I didn't know this when I was making that review, but apparently, like, I just watched 3C Films video on this, and I'm going to do some research into all this myself. I might actually talk about it on my second page. I didn't know this, but all this stuff is going on in Marvel about like the people who animate and do all this. They're yeah, I guess they're not treating them well and all that. Like, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations and all that for all the digital effects to be done at a certain time. So I don't know, man. That really sucks. And the one thing I would change about that review is not to be so harsh on the digital effects. Now, knowing that, I probably would have said something along the lines of blamed the people who are in charge of Marvel overall if I would have known that going into it. But yeah, it's the CGI in just every Marvel thing lately has just looked awful. I don't know. It's weird. So, and one more thing, and then I'm probably gonna get peacing out here. We got Maverick saying, "I've been the biggest advocate for Matthew Lillard playing Freddy, who would be amazing, like a great choice. But my hot take would be Ben Foster as Freddy. He's an amazing actor." Okay, Ben Foster. I know that name, but who is he? Who has he played? Ben Foster in, okay, yeah, I've not seen any of these movies. Cool. He definitely has, yeah, he could play Freddy. He's got the look for it. He's got good like cheekbones and all that, which I know is like a weird thing to point out about an actor, but like with someone playing Freddy Krueger, they have to look a certain way. You know what I mean? Like they have to have a certain like facial structure, I think. So I could see that. Looking at just a picture of him real quick, I could see him playing Freddy. And then one last question. Deanna saying, how many killers in Scream 6 and motive? Listen, the one thing I want more than anything is please, to radio silence, to all the people involved with the new Scream film, just don't make it a remake of Scream 2. Don't have the motive be revenge for Richie and Amber's death. Don't do that. Just give me a good old nasty original story where someone dressed up as a ghost face killer and is going around killing people for a whole new reason, something we haven't seen on screen. There is plenty of reasons to kill people, my friends, and we don't need to just do another revenge motive. We don't need to just do another fame motive or trying to something along the lines of the Stab movies. We don't need to do that. We don't. We've seen it happen in 5 movies. Now, let's get something different. Let's get something crazy going. I'm hoping that they go the route of 3 killers because I think there's a lot of fun avenues they could go with that. But I'm definitely worried it's going to be 2 killers again. I don't think it's that big of a deal to me whether they go three killers, 2 killers, 1 killer, as long as it's a good story. The most important thing to me is the motive. The motive's got to be good. Motive's got to be good. Motive's got to be something original, and then I'll be happy. I never realized how important the motive was in a Scream film for me until very recently. Like, you have to have a good motive. You have to have something that doesn't feel like something we've already seen before. So hopefully it's something different. Hopefully it's something good. And with Halloween, I feel the exact opposite. I hope that it's something very familiar. I hope it's something that feels a little more tame than the last film. It's a little more chilled out. So here's hoping to that. Here's hoping to some good movies coming in the future. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about Nope in a couple of weeks as well. And if you guys don't already know, I have another live stream at 7:30 this Friday. I probably will not have too much time to make videos this week. Like I said, we're filming the entire 3rd act this week of our Scream film, which unfortunately we only have like a little window of time to get done. So I will be very busy this week doing all of that. But next week should be a little more chilled out, a little more relaxed, more time to make some videos and stuff. But as you all know, in August, things are going to get a little more focused on this page. We're going to have some more content, some more good times, some more videos, some more streams, especially as well. But thank you guys all so much for stopping by and talking with me and chilling. I do really appreciate it. I do. It means a lot. I love talking with all you guys, love hanging out with all you guys. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for watching again. And, as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.